NordVPN. Confident at Elland Road after we gave Chelsea the blues here on Wednesday night. So can the lads follow that up and pile the pressure on the reigning Premier League champions? Another big night ahead. All the build-up to come with Nigel, Martyn and Simon Grayson in the studio. It's Leeds United taking on Liverpool.
That's an absolute belter! He's hit that one on the target. Viol with the header. Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, welcome to Matchday Live. Elland Road is filling up and we cannot wait to get this one underway this evening. Second game in just a few days, joined by former promotion-winning Leeds United manager Simon Grayson. Simon, great to have you here in the studio.
Good evening.
And also former Leeds United and England goalkeeper Nigel Martyn is here with us as well. You've got to add in the England thing. It's like former presidents, you always still have to call them president, don't you, Nigel?
It elongates your name. Yes.
Absolutely. Great to have you both here. It is going to be a cracker tonight at Elland Road. You can see the players coming in a little bit earlier. It's a filthy evening. It's chucking it down with rain, but it's going to be a fun one, I think. And given the result the other night, Nigel, I'll come to you first. No reason not to come here full of optimism and hope for another good result.
Yeah, I mean, the performance the other night against Chelsea was phenomenal, really, wasn't it? It's what we've probably been asking for, two up front, going a little bit more direct, which we did, and we took our chances when they came along. Yeah,
it was an incredible atmosphere here the other night, Simon, and there's the opportunity to have another one of those special nights again, and everyone coming into here this evening, all the fans and probably the players, and Daniel Farke will know this is an opportunity to build on that result.
Well, it certainly is, and building from the Man City second half performance where the team played really well and unfortunately lost in the last minute over at the Etihad this time last week, but I think the confidence levels there. I think the crowd were really up for the game on Wednesday night, which I'm sure they will be today. The more it rains, I think the more suits us that it's an uglier game and tackles flying in and stop Liverpool from playing maybe their free-flowing football that we used to have seen them play.
Yeah, we're talking about the rain coming down heavily. You can see the players coming in. I can see Nigel Martyn as a former goalkeeper thinking, these conditions aren't going to be great. But again, when you have conditions like this, you try and play to the advantage, don't you?
Yeah, plenty of shots, hopefully from us tonight, on target. I'm sure the manager will be following at both ends. It's difficult, greasy conditions, not easy to hold on to the ball. So, following, if you get shots at your goalie, help him out if you can. And obviously, if you get shots and Alisson spills one or two, be there to get a nice little tap in for yourself.
Simon, let me ask you about Daniel Farke. We saw him there just coming in with a big smile on his face, which is nice to see. The Premier League is so pressurised, isn't it? And that win the other night, we saw Daniel just at the end of the match kind of taking a moment maybe just to compose himself at the end of what had been a really big few days, and then celebrating with the fans as well. But as a former manager, you must feel how he's feeling every time he's on that touchline.
Yeah, look, you're going through every emotion possible, isn't it? And obviously the scrutiny that he's been under, the results have not been great. So that it's a bit of a relief when you get a performance and a result like we did on Wednesday night, and the supporters really played their part. So you have to enjoy them moments, because he has been under the scrutiny and he's been under a bit of pressure. But he'll have enjoyed it until about 10 o'clock. No, 10:30, because it was a late kickoff on Wednesday night, wasn't it? And then his thought process will be going, Liverpool Saturday tea time, we've got to be back at it Thursday morning, getting ready for a real tough game today. But full credit to him and the team the other night, performed when they really needed to.
A couple of changes from that match the other night for Leeds United. The team, the two changes are Altanaka is on the bench, and Ilya Gruev, who came on as a substitute, will start tonight. And the other one is Lukas Nemecha. He doesn't make the squad today, so he's obviously picked up a something here or there. And No Okafor will start up front. So it's Perry with that back three that we're now seeing of Rodon, Biol and Struijk, Bogle and Goodmanson as the fullbacks, Stack, Ampadu and Gruev in the middle of the park, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin scored the other night, of course, and Noah Okafor up front. So a couple of changes there, and you mentioned about the quick turnaround of these games. Really difficult for a manager to manage the players in that situation?
Yeah, look, you'd be governed by the sports sciences, lads. Obviously, Nigel would look like he was carrying an injury from Wednesday night, so I don't think they want to risk the opportunity of him breaking down with so many games coming up. And it gives, obviously, Okafor the opportunity. Not a natural number 9 playing alongside Calvert-Lewin, but he'll have to work and press alongside him, look for the flick-ons. But they'll have looked at it, and when you've had such a good performance as a manager, you've got to be reluctant sometimes to make too many changes. Of course, you're dictated by how players are feeling, but just get them back out there again. It's like 3 days recovery, go again. The momentum, the adrenaline gets you through these sort of games, and everybody wants to put another performance like they did the other night. Nobody wants to be rested today, believe me. If you get the tap on the shoulder from Daniel, I'm going to rest you tomorrow night, you'll be like, oh, gutted, I want to play against Liverpool and all the other big games. Yeah,
of course, Nigel being a goalkeeper, didn't have to do that much work in the games. You don't need resting as a goalkeeper, do you? I mean, it's like a stroll in the park for you guys. But
good job out between parents.
but I had to get the early dig in. But the team going out there, like Simon says, you come off the back of a win against Chelsea. Everyone wants to be on that Elland Road pitch. Everyone wants to be starting. Everyone wants to be putting in a performance. That's a good problem for Daniel Farke to have.
Yeah, you want to get straight back on the saddle as quickly as you can. You know, they've probably gained a lot of confidence from, the second half performance at City and then that game the other night against Chelsea. You know, so they'll be looking to go forward. I think Nmecha would be a little bit of a miss up front. You know, it was good having 2 up there that work the back 4 so much, like the other night. So Okafor has really got to learn where he's got to make his runs. You know, Dominic's very, very good in the air. You know, make sure he gets beyond, make sure he works the other centre half, if you like. You know, when the flick on comes, that's important that he does that and doesn't just sit, goal side of Dominic.
Now, we've seen Okafor's quality, haven't we, in matches we've seen with the goal that he scored and the way that he's played. He made an impact as well when he came on the other night, with the Calvert-Lewin goal, chasing down the keeper. I mean, it's a terrible... I mean, if you're the goalkeeper there and you get a pass coming back to you, you must be going absolutely mad at your defence when that kind of happens. But he was involved, which is good. We've got all those 3 front players who've been involved either in setting up goals or scoring goals in the last few games, Sam.
Well, I think when you sat on the bench as a player, and you've seen the players that perform as well as they did on Wednesday night. I'm not talking about in possession or about out of possession, running, chasing, the tackles that the team made, working as partnerships all over. And you sat on that bench and you're coming off the bench. You've got to replicate that. You can't sort of be the individual that you might think you are at times. You've got to fit into the team ethic. And Okafor came on, affected the game by pressing and working, which led to the 3rd goal. And he's got a big part to play up there with Calvert-Lewin today to replicate what Nmecha has done really well in the second half against City last week, but also on Wednesday night as well.
Yeah, it was a fantastic performance, which of course opened up with that incredible header from Jacobiel, his first goal in the Premier League for Leeds United. He was absolutely delighted, so we thought who better to talk to ahead of today's match than Jaka. Here are his thoughts ahead of this 5:30 kickoff.
Well, Jaka, really good night here on Wednesday, but you have to try and do the same again today, don't you?
Yeah, for sure. Another opportunity today, and we're ready for it in front of Elland Road. So, ready for Liverpool.
It's going to be another huge test, isn't it, against a side like Liverpool, the title holders?
Yeah, for sure. Like every week is a new test. Of course, every team in Premier League is a really good team. So, of course, today is no different.
They've not had the start that people were anticipating to their season. Do you consider that, or do you not think about that at all?
Honestly, I think we don't think about it a lot. It's us who we have to focus on, not them. So we know that they have a lot of quality. So but we will have to be 100 to bring results home. So for sure, we think about ourselves and not so much on them. So, but we know they have quality to show also today.
There you go, Jacobiel on the score sheet for Leeds United the other night and starts again today in that back 3. We'll go on to that in just a moment. Can you see the screen in front of us there? We've got the beautiful snowflakes coming down. It's not quite the same scene out there. That's like the one you're wishing for, but actually out there, it really, as we said, it is tipping it down tonight, which is going to make for a slippy, slidey game. And under the lights, we really can't wait for this one to get underway, especially given what happened the other night here at Elland Road. So let's just talk about that a little bit, because Simon, it was a fantastic performance but more importantly, 3 points on the board. That's the really important thing.
Yeah, of course it is. Look, if you win scrappy and you win 3 and you win a game, you'll take that and get the 3 points. Ideally, if you're a supporter, you want to see your team play well, but there's different ways to winning matches. We had 29% possession, I think it was, and you win a game 3-1. We've had more possession in games and lost, but it's what you do with the ball. Chelsea didn't affect us. We got a fantastic start, getting an early goal, great ball in from Stack, and Beale attacked it like it should do. 6'4", centre back, causing problems, and we've looked a threat sort of in the last few weeks because of the size that we've got within the team now. Look, he really wanted to go and head it, give the goalkeeper no chance whatsoever, and it was a perfect start under the lights here at Elland Road.
Nigel, as a goalkeeper, worst feeling to end up in your own net, isn't it?
Yeah, it's even worse if your studs get caught in the net and you can't get out. That makes it even worse. But I mean, the second goal, Tanaka's strike, it was a wonderful strike, wasn't it? You got no chance as the goalie there, and Elland Road was buzzing at that point. We've got to be a little bit careful. The start of the second half, we conceded that goal again, which puts you under pressure. But I was really impressed with the response from that. We could have gone in our shell and. Chelsea could have attacked us a lot more, but we went on and got a third.
I think, sorry, just to interrupt there, but that's one of the first goals that we scored from outside the box. So we've been criticised for not shooting enough. At least Tanaka there showed the positivity to shoot. Again, we've seen the third goal where pressing from the front, Okafor came off the bench and did what he did. And I think a lot of people were waiting to see if VAR were going to question the decision as there being a foul, as an offside decision, but just that little fillip to get that third goal and give us not something to hang on to, but we defended really well as a team and limited to Chelsea few opportunities since we went 3-1 up.
We don't have a bleep machine, but if you are a goalie in that situation, how many asterisks would we have to put in, Nigel, for that one?
Well, I think Okafor gets really close to the defender there as well, so I don't think it's so much a genuine back pass. I think it's more of a challenge. And his desire to get there first was evident. He does get a toe before it gets to the keeper, which means that it can't be a foul. You might still want to follow through with the keeper a little bit, and that's the goalkeeper's job. That's his lot. You've got to put up with that. But from a goalkeeping point of view, you've got to put everything on the line to make sure that it doesn't get through. Luckily, it did for us, and Dominic gets a lovely little.
Let's hope we get one of them tonight. That Allinson gets still shot by Van Dijk or something like that. That'd be nice as well, wouldn't it? And leave one on him, so he has to come off as well. It's a perfect situation, isn't it?
You're just writing the whole script here tonight. What's this? Leeds go and win it easy. Fantastic. Really nice as well. I mean, little things. I know what you saw this week, but a picture of Altinaka's primary school teacher had flown over to see him play, and he goes and scores a goal like that. And Altinaka's got primary school teacher's got this T-shirt on with a picture of them two at school. I mean, just moments like that, absolutely fantastic. And also for Tanaka, yes, he starts on the bench tonight, but to have a moment like that this season, which he's probably been waiting for a little bit, was fantastic.
Yeah, look, it gives him a big fillip for the next few games, and to have somebody familiar with you that you've been to school with or were taught at. It's a lovely story, isn't it, when sort of travelling length and breadth of the world to come across and see your prodigy score from 20 odd yards is a fantastic feeling for both of them, the teacher and obviously Tanaka as a player.
I think one of the things that Leeds fans really appreciated the other night was just the kind of up and at 'em spirit from the start of the game. Jaden Bogle was down here, revving up the crowd from the second minute, and then you've got this moment where all the players are flying in. They're all clean, which is good, and the Elland Road crowd love that, don't they? From playing here, what difference that makes to the crowd. They just love it.
Yeah, the volume went up tenfold, didn't it? A few strong tackles going in. It was a throwback. I think they were probably spoilt in the 60s and 70s with the lads, flying in a little bit. And probably in our era as well, you're allowed to get a tackle, but especially when there's 2 or 3 in a row and you win them all, it's great. On a night like this, though, you've got to make sure you definitely get the ball, because if you're a fraction late, it's going to look a lot worse in wet conditions.
But it's what our supporters love to see as well. You know what I mean? This sort of to see crunching tackles is sometimes better than seeing somebody at a crossbar with a shot or something like that. If people want to just see sort of people flying in and getting the bodies in the way and asking questions and the commitment. This is a great example. One challenge, I think it's Goodmanson is in there next minute, strike, and then all of a sudden Ampadu comes across. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Throw back to the 80s and 90s when it really mattered, where you were allowed to tackle, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, just looking at these pictures, it kind of epitomises what... And also, I guess, a bit of the spirit you need at the end of the table that we're battling at, let's be realistic about it, you need those moments where you say to the opposition, this is what we're going to be about, and if you fancy a bit of it, let's have it.
Yeah, the players will have enjoyed that. You know, they're probably a little bit frustrated. They're not allowed to tackle a little bit more, but... you know, they got stuck in there at that moment. The crowd obviously go really, really wild. You know, we get the free kick, but even if you let the play go on, we had the ball, we'd have gone forward, the crowd would, you know, really be up for it.
Okay, lovely stuff. More of that tonight. That's what we want to see. Let's get the thoughts of our commentary team. As always, they'll be with you for kickoff at 5:30, but beforehand, let's see what they're thinking ahead of the match. Brynlaw and Tony DeRiga.
Well, here we are again, hoping for more of the same. The one thing we won't get that's the same is the starting 11. A couple of changes.
Yeah, there's a few injury issues from the great game on Wednesday. So unfortunately, Mecha is out. Okafor comes in for him, and Tanaka, slight doubt, he's on the bench, and Gruever's come in for him. So yeah, similar formation, but one or two changes.
So Okafor's got to do what Mecha did.
Yeah. Well, he does, but they're very different players, and I suppose that's the issue. So Okafor, he won't be rooted to one side or the other, but what he will have to do is try and feed off Dominic Calvert-Lewin, make sure he closes down. But let's not forget the goal that we did score against Chelsea when he did come on. He was the one that chased down. It broke free for his strike partner to score. So a lot more of that will be needed tonight, because there's no doubt that Liverpool would expect to have a lot of possession. You know, we have to break that possession up at times.
And the Tanaka being on the bench is a miss, because he added that extra goal-scoring element, didn't he, which could be crucial in some of these games.
Well, you wouldn't have said that after the first couple of shots, would you? Because
I didn't.
Yeah, well, no, we didn't. But no, that was a fantastic goal. You're right, but depends exactly what the issue is. So hopefully we can have him on at the right time. But of course we have a full international in Gruev to come on and just to really keep it nice and tight in that midfield.
I mean, Wednesday's changed everything in terms of the mood, hasn't it? So there are now people coming up to Elland Road tonight saying, OK, no problem, Leeds home win. But although Liverpool haven't had a great start, it's not going to be that straightforward, is it?
And it doesn't work like that, does it? No, as we know. So it is going to be difficult. I just look back at the players that Liverpool signed in the summer. One of their players is the same as the 10 that we bought. So let's get a bit of realism in there. And if they do click at any point, it's going to be difficult for us. But they haven't been clicking. They've been struggling. And they have a few weaknesses, which I think our strengths can take advantage of. So certainly set pieces, some long ball, corners, long throws. And if we have that intensity, we can get the first goal. Then you know what? We might just do rather well.
I do hope you're right, Tony. Looking forward to this one. Liverpool coming up shortly.
Yeah, we're all looking forward to it. Brendan, Tony will bring you your commentary. What are we, just over 10 minutes or so away from kickoff? Should we have a little throwback to the time when you were playing? I mean, I'm aware that you weren't playing in this game because you were injured for this particular, but the 4-3 against Liverpool back in, 25 years ago, this game. Let's just take a look at this and talk us through this. Like I said, I know you were injured, but Viduka's 4 goals, what a player.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, as good a player with his back to goal as I've ever seen, I think. But also, I mean, this game, everything just fell for him, didn't it? Whatever he wanted to do, he could do. And he just ran their back four ragged on his own. He's a big, strong lad. They just couldn't seem to get the ball off him. And some of the finishes were delightful.
This is outrageous, isn't it?
Yeah. He's very skillful. For a big guy, he had great feet. Could move the ball around. He's just delighted for him.
I mean, I would imagine if your teammate scores 4 goals in a game, they never stop talking about it. Is that how long was he dining off 4 goals in one game for?
No, he wasn't really that type of guy that he would be, full of it. He was very confident, and it's just a big smile. That's all you'd get from Mark. He'd be happy about it, but he wouldn't be giving it big time in the changing room.
That's not something you hear too often, is it? A modest Australian.
I think it must be the Croatian roots.
Yeah, absolutely.
Possibly,
let's not mention the cricket at this stage. So there you go. Mark Viduka from 25 years ago, bringing it to this match here today. We've got this strange thing as well. We're playing Liverpool twice in the space of just a few weeks with the game on New Year's Day. They are in strange form at the moment. You wouldn't have thought we'd be talking about 5 defeats in the last 10 games for Liverpool, Sam. they're just in a strange place. You know, I mean, they're coming off the back of a win and a draw. They could have lost that game to Sunderland at home the other night. Definitely, they had a late equaliser. What's going through their minds at the moment? Arne Slot, a Premier League last year, but it just hasn't quite happened for them so far, albeit clearly a very good team.
Yeah, look, I think probably the key thing is that they've signed a lot of players and they've not all hit the ground running yet. They're sort of finding their feet. They've still got some real talented players without a shadow of doubt. Nobody should ever be underestimating this Liverpool team, because you look at the team, you look at the bench, what they've got talent in abundance, but it's a good opportunity to play against them tonight. It's a bit of a free hit because nobody really expected us to get too many points this week. Didn't get anything at City, 3 points the other night. So tonight is an opportunity where we can go out and express ourselves and really give it a go against a team that are vulnerable at the moment. So I'd like to try and add a little bit more pressure to them and press them like we did the other night against Chelsea, and see if we can be strong defensively. And you never know, it could be another 3 points or at least a draw possibly.
OK, well, let's hear from the gaffer, Daniel Farke. Been talking about the opposition and certainly not being fooled by their recent form coming into this game.
Still a top class side. They are the reigning champion and fully deserved. Last season they were excellent. Of course, also lots of fluctuation and also special situations in the summer. And it's even for them, like for each and every other team in this league, over the course of 38 game days, you will have sometimes a period when the results don't go in your way, when you don't have your best performance. I think they had a really, really good start, especially in terms of results into the season. And yes, and a bit more challenging and a bit more difficult period. It's also not easy when you also have the international duties and then to integrate also many new key players into the game. But I have no doubts they're at the moment, I think, 2 points away from the Champions League positions in this league. I have not one doubt in my head that once we come into the crunch time period of the season, they will be back and will fight for the Champions League and also for the title and also in international competition. So each and every team has ups and downs. So we spoke before Aston Villa anyhow, so it also perhaps not the best start into the season right now. Just check the table, they're sitting in position 3, are also meanwhile in the title race. So each and every team will have also sometimes a period of 3, 4, 5 games when perhaps performance-wise, result-wise, it's not top class, but we still face a world-class side with world-class players who have done exceptionally well over the course of the last 18 months. Also, like I mentioned, also challenges for this season, also very sad moments, and and sometimes also not easy for a group. But I have no doubts that we have to be like in the last 2 games against also top class sides, Man City, Chelsea, to be back at our very, very best. And also we need Elland Road and full voice and also at the very, very best to give ourselves a chance to make a tight game out of this, and then also hopefully to get a good result out of it. So yeah, tough week for us, but we're also in a good mood and I will also be prepared.
Thought to Daniel Farke there, and of course Nigel, he's saying Liverpool are going to get back to consistent winning form. Of course they do. From our point of view, we don't want that to start today, do we? So how do Leeds approach this game to make sure that patchy run they're on at the moment just extends for another 90 minutes?
Yeah, I think Liverpool are feeling a bit sorry for themselves at the moment, and I think our job is to make them continue feeling like that. We've got to go out there and give them what they'll be expecting. They'll be expecting a fast start from us. And that's exactly what we'll have to do. We'll have to get right in their faces, to close them down, make it difficult for them all over. Not selling yourself, not going beyond the ball and getting picked off really easily, but working them really hard throughout the game.
And Simon, from a manager's point of view, 3 games against really top opposition in the space of a week. You know that it's going to be some pain these players are going to have to go through, the workload, the minutes. It's going to be a tough one out there. How are you sending them out?
Yeah, of course it is. Just picking up on Nigel said there as well, don't disappoint the opposition. Their manager will be saying they will come out the trap, the home fans will be behind them, there'll be tackles. So don't disappoint them. Don't lose the first tackle that you're going for. Don't win the first contact. So do whatever you can in that first 10 minutes to set the atmosphere, the tempo to the game, which they did the other night, and they can put the opposition on the back foot. You need to make sure that you still play with your head as well as your heart, passing and in the right areas, closing down at the right areas, working closely as a team and not as individuals. So when Okafor and Calvert-Lewin are pressing, other lads need to be doing the same thing behind, because this is still a very, very good team, by the way. 100 million plus spent in the summer on one individual who's on the bench, and Mo Salah, one of the greatest players the Premier League have seen as well. So tough task, but one that we should be embracing and really looking forward to tonight.
Yeah, Nigel, just very quickly, because you know, this isn't just a big game in Beeston here tonight. You know, Leeds-Liverpool, it's one of the historic big games in the top flight of English football across the world. We know that, everyone knows that. It is a massive game tonight. Just when you look out there right now, every seat is filled, the fans are on their feet, they're waiting for the players to come out. We're going to hear Marching On Together in a moment. As a former player, do you still get that kind of feeling, and what is that like?
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah, you know, the hairs on the back of my neck will be standing up when I'm hearing that, of course. And they did when I was a player. It's a little bit surreal when you're walking out there and you've got these thousands of people supporting you and whatever. Your job remains simple, you know, go out and give your best. You know, whatever you can do to get that result for your team is a must.
Okay, that's exactly what we're looking for. Trying to back up that win against Chelsea on Wednesday. Can Leeds do it against Liverpool? Let's just very quickly get some score predictions, because the players are coming out. Come on, you thought I wasn't going to forget that, Simon. Come on, what's the score going to be?
I'm hopeful 2-1, but I'll take 1-1.
Okay, Nigel?
Yeah, I'm hoping for a home win. I don't think we'll probably keep a clean sheet, so we're going to have to score a couple, so I'll go 2-1 as well and keep our fingers crossed.
Okay, well that was
what about you, Rich?
No one cares what I think, as we've established over the last half hour. Simon, Nigel, lovely to have you. Let's cross to our commentary team. We care what they think. Bryn Law and Tony DeRigo, enjoy the game.
So Leeds United walk out at Elland Road under the lights for the second time in a week, and again they walk out to what